Storybook Brawl was nice enough to send me some dust codes, so I'm doing another giveaway. Stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can enter to win. What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, and today we are going to be taking a look at a game featuring Fairy Queen's Wand, which, to be honest, is a treasure that I never really thought I would feature in a video. But it recently got a buff from +5/+5 to +7/7, which is a 40% increase in power. So it is much more powerful now, and I want to make clear that in this video, it's not just like I get a Fairy Queen's Wand or I have to take a Fairy Queen's Wand. I actively want this treasure and pick it up in the late game over some other really powerful options: Black Prism, Radiant Prism, Ivory Owl, and more. I decide to take this Fairy Queen's Wand all the way to the end. And like it said in the patch notes, it's not really meant to compete with other level 7 treasures, but I think at +7/+7, it might be able to. This game starts off pretty powerfully. We are Sharebear, which is one of the better heroes in the game, and I cycle the golden chicken so that way I can lock onto this witch's brew. If I am able to slay with the kitty cup purse, which I think is reasonable up against the fates. A lot of times the fates will take like a lonely prince or a polywoggle or a kitty cup purse themselves. Now, unfortunately, my opponent got first attack, which is going to be an insane start for them. They are now fated to a 3-cost unit, and we don't get the extra gold. So a little bit unfortunate. This time, I'm going to lock onto the Witch's Brew in case I don't slay. So if I don't slay, I will have 5 gold next turn. If I slay twice, I will have 7 gold, and if I slay once, I'll have 6 gold, and be able to ignore the Witch's Brew. And looks like we will be able to slay here. We will almost got the chance to slay twice there if we had attacked second. If my opponent had attacked first, then we would have slayed twice. But we still get to pick up 3 units this turn, which is quite powerful. I'll definitely pick up Mad Mim alongside Black Cat to also support the kitty cup purse, and then I will just take a golden chicken. I love when you get to play Sharebear and then you find additional ways to generate gold, and you're just swimming in gold on the hero, and those typically make for some pretty powerful games with the hero, and we're gonna see that I stay at 40 health for a large portion of this one. We are gonna get the slay there with both the kitty cup purse and the second kitty cup purse, both kitty cup purse there. So now 8 gold after the Sharebear hero power going into 3.0. Quite a powerful start here. Definitely eyeing up the Wicked Witch. I'm just curious if I want to take Cindy plus health potion and trying to figure out what then that will mean for the rest of the turn. If I take Cindy plus health potion, I then would roll and only have 1 gold left over. So don't really love that. I think that I'm just best off rolling, and I find another Black Cat and then also pick up a Shadow Assassin. And I debate on the Kidnap for a second, but I don't have much time, so I just sell off the golden chicken and cast the Kidnap spell. I figure we might be able to steal something sweet. And for a second, I'm thinking I stole the Wizard's Familiar, which would have been cool, but I actually steal a Black Cat. So we get a tier 3 treasure here, and Noble Steed, and what was the other one? Dragon's Nest. Both not really giving anything for the current board, so I'm going to go for Fairy Tale, get a little bit of future power. From here, I think that Water Wraith is pretty strong on the current board because we are playing with some summoning, so definitely interested in that. I would really love to find another kitty cup purse, and we do. So I get to pick up that, I get to pick up another tier 2 treasure. Bounty board kind of cute, but Shepherd Sling is just so much power. And then from there, I just want to grab one of these 2 drops, throw it in front of the Mad Mim, and cast this Candy Rain. Since I knew this unit was going in front of the Mad Mim, and I'm probably only playing it for a turn, I just pick up the Unicorn. Even though I know it doesn't have any synergies on the board, it is still slightly better with Mad Mim. We do get the slay with Kitty Cup Purse, opponent greeting there a little bit for some XP. And now I think we can greed for some XP. Black Cat's really good, as is Queen of Hearts. And then I'm going to sell off this Rainbow Unicorn just to pick up the Golden Chicken and bring a little bit more econ onto level 4 for ourselves. We could do something on this board where we put the black cats on both sides of the water wraith, so that way the water wraith is growing as much as possible, though that doesn't really line up as well with the supports. It's much better to give the water wraith the +2 health from the Wicked Witch, because the other option here would be just to swap these two units, right? And then you've got a 6/1 black cat, or no, I'm sorry, you'd have a 6/5 black cat here, and then you'd have a 10/7 water wraith here. So I'd rather just have a 10/9, even if it means potentially a little bit less scaling overall. Just a little bit of a note. Playing up against Thylin again, and they connected with the White Stag. That was their polywoggled faded units. But we're still looking pretty good here with an absolutely massive water wraith. We are going to have enough stats to take them down and not even have to use our Queen of Hearts. So doing very, very well this game. Definitely eyeing up some things in that shop. The Friendly Spirit and then the two Godmothers are both very strong units. However, we're definitely more in an evil comp right now with this Queen of Hearts. I want to play to that as one of my strengths. I will pick up Monster Book. I think that that is just a super powerful evil unit to pick up here. And then we do have some other really interesting options. I think that the Princess Peep could be pretty good to continue to scale the Water Wraith. And then we also have another Evil Witch, and the reason that I'm kind of into the Evil Witch is we could build into Ancient Sarcophagus. That would be a bunch of power, and then like worst case scenario we take like a treasure map or something like that. So all of those are really strong options, and I tried to sell off and grab the Evil Witch in the last few seconds there, but unfortunately just did not leave myself enough time. I knew it was going to be tight, but wound up just being a little bit too risky there. So we lose 2 gold, but we're making up more than all of that gold because we are Share Bear, and we're going to still be easily crushing these fights. We get the chance to pick up another Wicked Witch in this shop, which now I'm slightly less into, and is definitely a decision that I have to think about, and I ultimately decide not to go for it, and I'm glad that I didn't, because now I can spend my gold on a much better upgrade, Water Wraith. I get to pick up a second Water Wraith here, debating on the time flies, decide not to grab that one either, and then I roll and pick up a triple for Water Wraith, and there's the treasure map. I'd say that's honestly probably the best treasure that I could grab at this point in the game, because we're about to hit level 5 next turn. So next turn we'll be able to roll for some Nyan Sea Terrors. I do think I'm going to cast the End next turn as well though, just to push my lead in a different way. I think I talked about this in a video probably a few days ago at this point, but when you're ahead, look for a bunch of different ways to press your lead, be it XP, be it rolling for triples and treasures and tier 7 treasures potentially, as you already know we are going to be looking at in this video. But I am going to pick up the End. I was thinking about just selling Mad Mim, but when the goat rolls into the shop, I just decide to pick that up instead, and then I pick up a Nyan Sea Terror. And the fact that I have to sell this Mad Mim to pick up the Sea Terror, or I could sell the Black Cat or something, but probably we'll just sell the Mad Mim. Honestly, that means that I probably should have just ended the Mad Mim to begin with, but it did still provide something to the current board, so I'm not super upset that I played it this way. I also kind of like the pigs here, and I think that spending some gold on pigs, even picking up the pigs this turn, might have been the correct move, because I don't have to double up on a Nyan Sea Terror. I can also triple up on some pigs, and I think I'll have the time to do so, because that's really all that I'll be looking for over the course of the next turn. So going to pick up the pigs and then roll and try to lock onto either more pigs or more Nyan Sea Terrors. And even if I don't get them next turn, on my 6.0 turn, if I wind up purchasing a unit to grab a level 7 treasure, it's still pretty strong. So I will definitely settle for that one as well. Our Water Wraith takes out basically my opponent's entire front line, which is nice. I just have to deal with these ranged units, and we are going to be able to. It's a little bit close, but we do indeed get the win. So now I'm going to pick up these pigs. Yeah, you see 17% to win there. Pretty lucky, in fact. We'll pick up the pigs and then we'll roll. I do consider Bearstain because it's another tier 5 unit that plays nicely into Water Wraith and could move us into the summons comp. but I'm feeling like I'm gonna base my comp around whatever treasure I find here now. So I'm not super tied to anything. I'm gonna pick up this 9 Sea Terror, and believe it or not, this is not where we find our Fairy Queen's Wand. We do a little bit better than that. We're going to start by picking up a Holy Grail, which I think is the best tier 7 treasure in the game. Definitely a little bit better than the Fairy Queen's Wand there, and the Holy Grail is going to fuel those future tier 7 treasures. Those are coming in the future, and yes, treasures, multiple, are coming down the line. Doom Breath looking pretty good for my opponent. We do have this absolutely massive Water Wraith though, which is going to buy us a little bit of time and some good attacks with my pigs. Does save us a little bit of health there. We are now going to wind up just selling off this entire board and rolling for some trees. And I thought I picked up 2 Heartwood Elders there before realizing one was just a soul tack, and now all of the soul tacks are shining for the rest of the combat. But then I see double Good Boy and kind of pivot a little bit. I'm thinking, all right, yeah, maybe we want to try some Good Boy scenarios now. And then I find a third one. I did accidentally roll past the It Was All a Dream spell. If I find that again, I think that I would like to go into that, though it is a little bit tricky dreaming on your Holy Grail turn, because you don't really want to waste that much time trying to pick a hero. I accidentally roll past a Bear Stain, but we are pretty firmly in trees at this point. I would love to take an Echo Wood. I do wind up dreaming. I almost take the Pied Piper before realizing, you know what? Let's just go for Horde Dragon. At that point, I wind up picking up a triple of the Robin Wood and picking up another tier 6 treasure, and totally changing my board from evils to goods all in that last second there. We also picked up a Pandora's Box for a tier 7 treasure and a spear for some more immediate stats right now on the Good Boy side of things. We're actually going to lose this combat, our first loss basically of the whole game. I guess we lost the previous one as well, but to get a loss on the Holy Grail turn, obviously a little bit awkward, but I think that we are really, really powerful now. Our Pandora's Box hatches into a Magic Sword plus 100, so now at this point I am really looking for a Court Wizard. That would be the main thing to add to this board. However, a Lancelot will immediately activate, so I do think that a Lancelot is a pretty good pickup here. I'm going to sell off the Heartwood Elder. We are done with trees to pick up this lance for a tier 6 treasure, actually. This lance will give us, and then I'm hoping that our Good Boy can die and pump up Hercules, and then we can also grab a tier 7 treasure off of the Hercules, though with the Good Boy getting +7/+7 when it attacks, it's actually going to be a little bit tricky. We might not be able to get the spear there, and then we also have to dodge the Medusa. That is a little bit tricky. Good Boy doesn't die, so now we really just need all of these bears to attack into the Good Boy. Everything attacks into it here. It's certainly possible, but it is ultimately not going to crack open. But actually, just for my opponent's summons, I wasn't paying attention, and the Hercules does actually complete. And from here, we've got 3 really powerful options: Radiant Prism, Round Table, and Mirror Mirror. And I think that Round Table could have been good with the Magic Sword plus 100. I also think that Radiant Prism, really, really good with Good Boy. We could have taken this Lordy in this shop to give both of the Good Boys a whole bunch more stats. But we have the Bear Stain. We already have 2 Good Boys. This is definitely very well set up for a Mirror Mirror comp. And then surprisingly, actually, we completed the Hercules but did not complete the Lancelot. So very, very silly with this one. And then here we have the option to pick up an Echo Wood. So I'm going to do that as well, and we are feeling pretty strong. The one thing that was awkward about the Robin Wood is that it would be pumping up the Echo Wood. So it would just be a generic ranged unit, not super powerful, and yeah, it's just a little bit awkward here that the spear might put the Good Boy out of range to die and resummon. Now it is going to wind up dying there to the Echo Wood, Then it gets to resummon with a whole bunch of stats from the Bearstein, and we just have to worry about getting scammed on this back line for my opponent. We are going to get the treasure from the Hercules, and then Medusa is going to scam our good boy, but it's all going to come down to, will my opponent have enough scams inside of these pumpkins? Frontline Medusa, not quite it. Backline Cupid is good enough to take out my Echo Wood. Interestingly, we almost got another tier 6 treasure there if the Friendly Spirit had died and landed on the Lancelot, but that's all going to land on the Bearstein, which gives us a huge Bearstein that allows us to win the combat, but does mean that, I guess nothing. Yeah, no, it means that we win the combat, and we grab our tier 6 treasure here. And that is going to be Ivory Owls with 3 good boys now. I think that that is quite good. We could have definitely seen an argument for Wand of Weirding, and I do debate picking up that Friendly Spirit, but ultimately I think that it's just going to be better to roll for more bears, boys, and Echo Woods, especially because we're Horde Dragon. We could pick up another tier 7 treasure, and if you look at this board, well, we don't have any royals, so we don't really need Court Wizard anymore. That's one thing that I'm thinking about now. And so I probably just want another random ranged unit. But the point that I was trying to make is, if you could add one treasure to this board, what would it be? And the answer really is Fairy Queen's Wand. Fairy Queen's Wand is so good on this board, giving all 3 of my good boys +7/+7, and then when they resummon, they'll get +7/+7 again, and then I think that's even further pumped up by the Bearstein into +12/+12. So it's a bunch of stats, and that's why we're going to take it here. We have the option for Radiant Prism, Black Prism, but no, we are going for Fairy Queen's Wand. There you see me eyeing up the Bearstein. I'm also thinking that Radiant Prism is kind of cool with Bearstein because it would make everything into an animal. But I think it's Fairy Queen's Wand, to be totally honest here. You can let me know what you think in the comments, but it's just so much stats with Good Boy, Mirror, Mirror, let alone Good Boy, Mirror, Mirror with some Bearstein action into it. And from there, I'll wind up picking up Lady of the Lake just to have a random ranged unit on the board as well. And I frontline one of the Echo Woods because even if it gets attacked into and dies, it will resummon because of the Mirror, Mirror. So no real risk towards putting it in the front line right now, so that's totally fine. My opponent is going to kill both of my Echo Woods and my Bearstein, actually, so this combat gets pretty close because now my good boys are not getting a bunch of bonus stats, but when I say really close, okay, you got me. Not really close at all. We are just absolutely massive here thanks to all of our tier 7 treasures and upgraded tier 6 units. Feeling pretty good. So at this point, we're just rolling for more Bearsteins and more Echo Woods, and we find another Bearstein. That's pretty great. We could probably just cut the Friendly Spirit for it at this point, and like I said before, running these Echo Woods in the front line is totally defendable, and then from there, I probably just go for the Genie's Wish, yeah, and that gives us a doubly from a, what is that called, Hi-Ho, to finish off the turn. And we can see that this Potion Master is pretty big as well, but I think we're just bigger. They've got 1 Echo Wood to our 2, they've got 1 Good Boy to our 4, and then it's just going to come down to what's inside this pumpkin, but my opponent doesn't even have that many evil units. They're really just True Love's Kissing and getting this random board, but it's not a good enough board, so we're going to hit them for 12 down to 10. Then I pick up another Bearstein, another chance to drop the Fairy Queen's Wand. Definitely don't want Excalibur. Radiant Prism and Black Prism, maybe we could toss the Magic Sword +100, but I'm pretty sure I want to hang on to this Fairy Queen's Wand at this point in the game, and for that reason I'm just going to wind up skipping. I do think about it for a second, but the extra gold from skipping I think is actually just better than Radiant Prism, because we're not really going to have enough time if we take the Radiant Prism to actually make any use of it, right? We are just going to have 5 gold for the rest of the turn, and it's basically all going to be done for there. I do think about the Gigantify, but just wind up rolling down. We still have a little bit of gold to try to find something this turn, and we actually find another Echo Wood. So I sell off the rest of my hand, pick up an Echo Wood, don't get to look at the treasures, but we do get to make an upgraded Echo Wood before things are done here, and now we are just absolutely massive. We've got these huge good boys which are all going to go down eventually to the opponent's front line there, and then we are just left with this absolutely massive Echo Wood, 5-digit Echo Wood, 38,000 attack by the end there, if you caught that. Really, really insane, and really insane game, honestly, all thanks to Fairy Queen's Wand. We do also get that bonus 200 dust as well, and who doesn't like bonus dust? If you want to get some bonus dust, leave a comment down below that includes the word monster on any of my videos this week, and here's some more information on that. For my giveaway this week, leave a comment on any of my videos and include the word monster. New week, new code word, and you'll be entered into a chance to win a 4,000 dust code. The reason that I say to include the word, that way I can differentiate between the people just leaving a comment and those that are actually interested in the dust, to make sure that it goes to a person that will appreciate it. And there's no limit to how many times you can enter. You can go back and comment on some of my previous videos. I've been uploading daily Storybook Brawl videos for the past 7 or 8 months at this point, so I'm sure there is some sweet content that you have yet to see. And yeah, you can enter multiple times. I will do a new code next week, and the other thing that I wanted to say is that if a bunch of people enter, I will give away more codes. So that's just going to be limited by how many people are entering and how many people are commenting. Let's get this channel to over 1,000. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.